starting? Okay. So, as you guys know, my name is Brittany Jackson. I am an emergency and disaster management student at Western Carolina University. This is for my Communications 201 class. This is my persuasive speech. And I'm going to be talking to you guys today about why you should let your kids believe in Santa, okay? I know this is a very hot topic. It's going to be Christmas time. Lots of opinions one way or the other here. But let me tell you personally why I think that Santa is a great idea. First of all, the story of Santa in general, not necessarily a lie. So we can't really say, oh, we're lying to our kids. It is grounded in truth because St. Nicholas, in fact, as we have all heard, was actually a real person. Now, dating back hundreds and hundreds of years, of course, this person did not necessarily bring toys to all the good little girls and boys, but he did, in fact, do some good deeds. Paid some hospital bills, paid some doctor bills, did some good deeds for some folks. So more about the spirit of giving. And I think that's really what is super important and what would be missing from the holiday season if we were to cut Santa out altogether. I think that most people in my generation and older grew up believing in Santa, and I'm really not sure why at this point our culture is starting to, step away from that and say no more Santa. I don't know why, because I think this is such a magical tradition, and like we said, this is actually giving real value and inspiring children. And this actually came from Dr. Matthew Lorber, who is a child psychologist in New York, and he actually did some research on this and said, you know what, it's not hurting kids. And in fact, it's a normal part of childhood. Using your imagination to believe in other things, whether that is the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, or in this case, Santa Claus, is in fact a normal part of childhood. And in fact, they would start to think that maybe something is wrong with your child if they are not using that imagination. So really, using the idea of Santa is fostering their ability to believe, to have faith in things, even when they can't see them. And I think whether you're religious or not, that's super important as well. Moving on to other topics and talking about other things that you should have faith in life and what's going to get you through the hard times, that starts at such an early age by just simply believing that this man in a red suit is coming down your chimney and bringing you some toys if you're good. That's giving you hope and joy. And why would we want to take that away from children, right? We shouldn't. We should want to encourage those things and foster those things to hopefully lead them to be productive members of society. So I know what you're going to say. Okay, Brittany, well, I'm going to tell them that, yes, there is a Santa, but what happens when they start to figure out that it's not? All right? So questioning what is real and what is not is also a normal part of childhood. That's just as normal as using your imagination. So even though they start to question that, usually around age 8, 9, 10 years old, they start having some questions, things aren't adding up, they start to see price tags on the gifts or whatever the case may be that brings these questions about. That is also normal, all right? And so we don't want to live in a society where your disappointment just shatters your dreams, right? So we want to let them know in a healthy way that just because a man in a red suit does not come down the chimney and leave us these presents, that it is in fact your parents or whoever that's buying these presents, that the spirit and the magic of Christmas is still something that we should believe in. So the spirit of giving, and I know that there's a lot of ways around that, like how to break that news to your kids, or you might be like me who never had that conversation with your parents. I just realized what was happening, and I just went on, I never had that conversation. I didn't say, Mom, Dad, why isn't there a Santa, or why did you lie to me? I certainly didn't feel betrayed or anything like that, and I was looking forward to the day that I had children of my own, because there is something just so magical about having small children at Christmas who are still believing in Santa, who are listening for those reindeer paws on the roof and listening for the jingling of jingle bells. So if you don't have kids of your own, hopefully you'll get to experience that someday. But those are big things that you want to keep. And at the end of the day, we're looking, like we said, to keep that spirit of giving alive, and that starts with Santa. And truthfully, do you actually know somebody who relates their lifelong trust issues back to finding out there was no Santa? Because I can honestly say that in 28 years of life, I have never encountered one person who said, I'm so messed up in life because my parents told me that there was Santa, and then I found out when I was 10 years old that it was all a lie. Honestly, in my life, I never have. So I think Santa is a big deal. Santa is giving us the ability to believe in things that aren't there. Santa is giving us hope and joy. And I think it is an outstanding, a marvelous tradition that we should absolutely still encourage. So go Santa.